You guys wanted to see how I created a really simple everyday base on the skin using my Ofra translucent powder in medium. So that is what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? But then I also realized I have a few brand new products I want to play around with, so I figured we'll go ahead, we'll do the base, I'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll play with the new product. I feel like we'll still go fairly simple, very everyday wearable, but I do need to get to playing around with this product or I'm gonna forget, as per usual. If I don't, it'll just sit there and it will remain untouched. We're gonna skip on foundation today, so we really have to make sure that our base is perfection before we go in with powder. So you can use either an oil or you can use a serum. These are by Kind Science. Absolutely love the entire line. If you have really oily skin, I'd go with a serum. However, if you have hydrated, normal combo skin, or really, really dry, you can use either or. I would go with an oil. So for the sake of today's video, we will go in with an oil. This is gonna be step 1 of my skin prep. I'm gonna go ahead and massage it onto the skin. I moved her on the background and I had to remove some stuff because Cam just kept getting onto it. And I understand. She feels like this is her second home. She feels like this is her studio too. Ever since she was born, she'd be in here with me every day, all day, even throughout her naps. She would wake up and she'd be here. So I can't be mad at her for that, but I do need to make sure that I remove things out of the way because I don't want her to be in any harm. That's why you see me move things often enough around here. So that's step 1. We're looking really good. We're looking glowy. We're looking, right? Okay. Next, I'm gonna go in with JLo Beauty's That Star Filter. This is gonna give me some radiance, some glow. It's gonna look beautiful under powder. I'm gonna do maybe half of 1 pump. This is not a full pump. This is beautiful. I'm gonna blend it out like this. And then I'm gonna tap this onto the skin. See how radiant that looks? So I wanna look glowy. I wanna look healthy. And this is definitely going to add to the look. However, you can totally apply this on your skin on its own. Don't have to go in with any foundation. It kind of looks like you got a little bit of a tan. It looks amazing. Bring it down to your neck if you're only going to apply this. Look how radiant. The only thing is, obviously, you're gonna look a little tanner, you know? Next, we're gonna do concealer. It's gonna be my first time using the Glowish concealer by Huda Beauty. I ended up getting mine in Tanlight 07. Packaging is going to look like this. It looks actually really like nice. Nothing super different and special, but it's nice. I'm gonna apply concealer, but we're not gonna set it. We're just gonna kind of leave it there. I'm gonna apply it in areas where I feel like I need some lift. Now this is gonna be a really nice lightweight concealer, almost sheer. Because if you only wanna go in with powder and you wanna be real quick and simple, these are really quick and simple steps. Again, you're gonna hydrate your skin, you're gonna apply a glow serum. If you wanted to, you can totally skip that and then go in with your concealer and powder and then you should be good to go. So we're gonna let that sit for a good second. My sponge needs to be damp. You wanna leave some pigment behind. Can you see how natural this is on the skin? It looks like I have nothing on once it's been blended out. And this is brand new first impressions, but I'm actually really digging this for like a very all natural kind of day. I know most people do want a look that looks really natural. I know most people do feel like they need to apply concealer. So we're gonna see what this looks like at the end. But personally speaking, it looks radiant, it looks glowy, it looks lightweight. And it doesn't really look like I have much of anything under the eyes. The coverage is perfect for what we're doing today. So that was not a full-on flop. I'm actually really glad I ended up choosing to use this concealer because all my other concealers have way more coverage. Now for the powder part, I'm gonna go in with an Ofra 08. This is one of their powder brushes and their translucent powder in medium. This is like their airbrushed finish powder. It's so stinking good. I don't really rave over powders like that, but when it comes to the Gerard Cosmetics ones and Ofra's, they've done their thing with their formulation for sure. I'm gonna take my brush, I'm gonna swirl it in there. Instead of tapping out, I am gonna tap in. I want the product to go onto the inner bristles of the brush versus tapping it out. And then I am lightly going to tap onto the skin. Do you see where I need a little bit of coverage? Don't worry, we're gonna take care of that. But right now, I need to set the skin. Look how pretty and flawless that looks. I grabbed a little more powder. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. The reason why I'm going in with a brush and I'm doing the step of tapping it into the brush itself and then patting it onto the skin is because remember, you have nothing really on the skin other than an oil and the serum that I applied. You want it to look flawless. You do not want it to look cakey. If you go in with a big glop of powder, it's going to look so cakey and weird and heavy, and the idea is to look like you almost have nothing on your skin, which in this case you kind of don't. You technically have skincare and concealer and then like a setting powder, so it's not all that bad. Look, and it's setting what you did on your skin. It looks good. I still have Radiance even though this is set here. I'm debating, because what I've been doing is I have been setting my under eye with this medium, and the under eye is gonna look like this, which is good. It's not gonna look bad. I'm wondering if I want it to look highlighted today. I'm not sure. Like, do I want it to look brighter or not? And then the final step is to apply this onto the forehead, because of course no one wants a super shiny forehead. I've made up my mind. We are gonna set the under eye with the medium because it just makes sense. I tapped out, by the way, because for the under eye you don't really want a lot. And I'm gonna pat this product underneath. See how simple that looks? And it looks radiant without looking super shiny and weird. Go over my brows just a little bit, because why not? Oh my god, you guys, I forgot to tell you, I ended up picking up a Wet n Wild pencil for my brows over at Walgreens. Listen, I did a full-on drugstore video and I kind of cheated by using Benefit on the brows. And then when I was editing, I realized I don't even have like an actual real drugstore eyebrow product. I did have a ColourPop one, but it was the wrong shade. So I ended up snagging a micro brow pencil in the shade Deep Brown. Oh, opposite side by Wet n Wild. I think it was like $3. I'm gonna comb my brows up and I'm gonna gently fill this in. I want it to look natural, so I'm not gonna sculpt it. I'm not gonna like overdo it. I just kind of want it to look like it's my brow, even though it's not. And I will be laminating my brows all over again. The first 2 to 3 days was weird and I didn't know how to like make my brows look decent. But after like 2 to 3 days, I figured out how to make my brows look really good. So I'm missing the look of laminated brows. We will be laminating the brows again, but I did my research and apparently I have to wait at least a minimum of 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, and then I am able to go ahead and do it again without creating damage. Your girl doesn't need any damage on these brows, so we're gonna patiently wait. See, so we're gonna go ahead and diffuse this here. We want it to look au natural, but that brow's looking good. And if you have amazing fluffy full brows that don't really need much filling in, just some like combing through, then you could have skipped that step. It makes it a lot faster for you. But your girl has got some really sparse areas, so we had to do a little something to the brows. And here is the base. Now, of course, if we have a little situation that we need help with, those days happen. Sometimes that time of the month is difficult. You go in with a little more coverage. I'm just going in with a concealer. Notice I'm tapping the bare minimum. I'm gonna let it sit. I'm letting it sit, and I'm letting it sit on purpose. I want it to dry down. That way, when I go in to blend it with my finger, it diffuses but leaves all of the pigment in that area. I want coverage. I don't have time to color correct and choose what color and try to make it work and then I hope for the best. We don't have time for that. So this is gonna be the lazy girl shortcut. Blush. I grabbed a finger. I went into a cream blush. This is the Melt Cosmetics Pink Sand Cream Blush. It's called the Blushlight. It's a Blushlight. And I'm simply just tapping some exactly where the apples on my cheeks are, and then I'm gonna pull back. It's gonna give the cheek a lifted effect, kind of look like you applied highlighter when you didn't, and it's gonna look beautiful with this powder on your skin. Had you applied a way more powder, maybe with one of these little powder puffs, it would look kind of chunky. So this is why you use a brush. A brush is going to give you beautiful coverage. Apply the perfect amount without overdoing it. Your skin is gonna look flawless. And again, you can go in with a brighter powder under your eye to make it look more bright and awake. That isn't the idea for this video. All right, so this has pretty much kind of set. So I'm gonna grab a finger and I'm gonna pat, 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 pat. This is gonna take a second because I wanna pat and leave the coverage exactly where it is. And yes, we will go in with a little more powder in those specific areas. I know I normally don't break out, but these were like stress breakouts, girl. I'm gonna do a little bit over here. Same brush I used under the eye and the powder in medium. I'm going to tap and I'm gonna tap and I'll just keep tapping because I kind of want this to blend into the skin. I kind of want it all to look similar to the rest of the face. You see a little bit of a bump, but the discoloration has faded significantly. Do the same thing on lid cheek, and then we can go in with blush. I've got a Bobbi Brown Extra Lip Tint. It's brand new. This one is in Bear Punch. It's supposed to give this like orangey vibe. It's a balm with a tint to it. So you're just gonna apply on the lips and give it a second, because I want it to give me a hydration, number one. And number two, a little bit of a hue on the lips. I love the packaging. Isn't that nice? That emblem is everything. And then we would go in, apply mascara, but this is your basic. Like, this is, I'm going to the doctor's office, but I want to look normal, right? I don't want to look like a train wreck, because I look like a train wreck if I'm not filming. I promise you. I'm a hot mess express for sure. This gives, I want to look nice and go pick up some coffee, meet up with some friends. Like, this is really simple. I'm gonna drop off my kids at daycare. Very, very everyday. You can even use this to go to work at the office, run errands. Just, this is beautiful, natural, glowy. It looks like second skin. It's giving you have nothing on your skin, right? It's really good. So we're gonna go ahead and transform this really quickly, and I'm gonna apply eye makeup because I ended up getting another one of the Bobbi Brown dual ended eyeshadows. These thing lasts forever. You do not need a primer. It looks amazing on the eyeballs. You guys really like the other one that I got, which had like the espresso shade. So I ended up getting another one that I just opened by mistake. Lord Jesus. And we're gonna use this one today because it's just so simple. So this adds to the simplicity of this look. It is in Pink Mercury and Nude Beach. Nude Beach is like a matte mauve, and then Pink Mercury is just a shimmery pink shadow. I literally have nothing on my lids, if anything, oils. Oils, which is why we would normally go in with a primer, but with this product you don't need it. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some of this onto the crease area. I'm gonna go ahead and do that on both sides. I grabbed the fluffy brush and I'm gonna kind of blend that back and forth because again, I don't want this to look intense, but I want the eye to look pulled together and nice with the rest of the skin. You see how natural this looks? It's really pretty. If you want to keep it matte, apply it all the way to the inner corner, blend it out again, and then you're good to go. Apply some mascara and you're done. But I want to show you guys the shimmer shade. So I'm going to pop some of this here on the inner portion. So I think it's going to add to that glowy natural effect. Same brush, gonna blend back and forth. You can blend it out with your finger. That's going to allow more of the pigment to stay on your eyes, but I don't want it to look like I have much of anything on the eyes right now. I'm gonna go ahead and curl the lash. And then I'm going to move in with some mascara. I'm going to use the Telescopic Lift because this one does emphasize the lashes, make them a little longer, but still makes it look natural. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not even going to bring it all the way like the base of my lashes. I'm only going to emphasize the length of my lashes right now. Look how pretty that looks. Ugh. And that's just the one coat. I'm going to leave it alone because I think with the one coat, it looks so nice. I'm just going to pop a little bit on the lower portion of the eyeball. That way it doesn't look like super plain. And then we're going to make the other eye match. All right, you guys, and here is the completed look. Before I zoom all the way out, I really want to show you guys the skin. See the coverage? It just evened out my skin without me having to apply foundation or loads of product. That Glowish concealer is actually really nice for everyday. Look how pretty. It balanced out the under eye, made it look brighter without too much coverage. Like, it just looks like it's my skin, and then adding the medium translucent powder by Ofra right on top of it just was the icing on the cake. As you guys can see, like, I totally skipped on bronzer because we're not glamming it up. We just want to look pretty, feel pretty for the day, keeping her light and simple. It's been a while since I don't do glam and I keep it this simple, but you know what? Sometimes simple is just beautiful. You can create this look in literally 5 minutes. It's so easy to put together. It took me a little longer because of course I wanted to show you guys the product. I wanted to apply a little something on the eyeball, you know, and then I tend to talk. So it takes a little longer, but I promise you 5 minutes, just go in, get it done, and you come out looking flawless. I'll be sure to list every single product featured in today's video in the description box below in case you want to go check it out. If you want to snag any of these products or find alternatives, you can. And if you're new here, I want to invite you to join our little family here on the YouTube by hitting that subscribe button below. I upload 6 days out of the week because I want to make sure that you have more than enough content to enjoy at any given time. I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I'm going to go ahead and suggest 2 videos here on screen. I'm hoping you'll consider checking out, and if you do, I will see you guys over there. Bye guys.